Stu, thank you. The intoxicating, smothering atmosphere that Ellen Road can produce is in stark contrast to the apathy and muffled mumbling of the London Stadium. Here they're marching on together, and Leeds feels united. West Ham certainly doesn't. They've got all their points this season on tour, West Ham, and Nuno Espirito Santo has baffled everyone by putting the band back together again after an experiment on Monday night with different personnel. The problem for both these two teams is getting a tune out of their front men. Leeds' Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored just 2 in 29. West Ham's Nicholas Füllkrug is injured, and the manager doesn't appear to think that backup singer Callum Wilson can still hit the high notes. Leeds are missing chances, but at least they're getting them. West Ham aren't even creating anything. In their last game against Brentford, they managed 1 shot on target. In their game at Burnley, conversely, Leeds United lost the match, but had an XG of 2.63 and 19 shots on the Burnley goal. Leeds 1 win in 8, West Ham 1 win in 9. Let's hope they find a bit of rhythm in front of goal tonight, because victory for either of these two in a 6-pointer really could be the inspiration required, as long as it's not a one-hit wonder. Yeah, the atmosphere is really good here tonight. Leeds United made 4 changes, West Ham made 2 changes, and we're almost ready to go. Tomorrow we have live action from the Championship at 12:30 as Coventry take on Watford. Millwall Leicester is at 3. Adrian takes you round the grounds on TalkSport with the best goal service on your radio from 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. And then Liverpool go to Brentford at 8 live here on TalkSport. Sunday's smorgasbord of live football will be on the menu on TalkSport from 1:30 with the big hitters in action on Game Day Live. And Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoyce return to action on Monday morning, live and only on TalkSport Breakfast. Monday night saw Nuno slip down the charts. Leeds might have been a new entry at the beginning of the campaign, but they've got the chance to jump 3 places with victory tonight. It's Leeds United against West Ham United, live and exclusive to national radio. It is only on TalkSport. Our referee is Stuart Atwell. He blows his whistle, and on the first blow of the whistle, all the players take the knee. Well, in fact, 21 of the players take the knee. Crescencio Somerville decides against it and stands astride of the halfway line. It was all part of the No Room for Racism campaign. Well, this gives us the opportunity to assess the West Ham formation, and I can tell you that Ollie Scarles, who ahead of Monday's game against Brentford had never played at right fullback, has now started successive games at right fullback for Nuno Espirito Santo. So it's Areola in goal, Scarles at right back. The West Ham centre-halves are Todibo and Kilman, and Wan-Bissaka at left back. The midfield duo of Irvin and Souček. Right-sided attacker is Somerville, left-sided attacker is Diouf, and Paquetá supporting Bowen in attack. Dean Ashton, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we had 15 attempts, didn't we, at seeing where everybody would play and how they would set up, and we didn't get it right at all. I mean, obviously Scarles at right back just seemed bizarre. Wan-Bissaka at left back, try and make that what you will. I don't understand it at all. It's almost a 4-4-2 with Somerville on the right and then Diouf on the left with just Irvin and Souček in the middle and Paquetá and Bowen as a front two. Totally bizarre. The manager obviously sees something and has worked on something, so we've got to give him at least the first half to really assess this, but it's a very, very strange setup from West Ham perspective.
And it may well be a gamble, and if it pays off, then he will be lauded and praised, and if it doesn't, he'll be under the...
Gamble? It's all on red. Everything.
They're all in claret tonight, West Ham, and they're shooting from right to left. It's all white for Leeds United, and we'll go through their lineup in just a second. Rodon takes it out towards the right-hand side, gives it to Bogle, who's midway inside his own half. He sends it across to Bijol, who's making his first appearance at the heart of the Leeds United defence in the Premier League. He did play against Sheffield Wednesday in the game at Hillsborough in the EFL Cup, a game that they went out on in penalties. They've got Perry in goal. He's back it between the sticks. Bogle, Rodon, Bijot and Gudmundsson. Lundstaff, Ampadu and Tanaka. Then Aronson, Calvert-Lewin and Okafor. This is Tanaka, who will drop deep. Strong technical player. Pick the ball up, but does slow it down sometimes. Plays it into the path of Rodon, then over the halfway line. Longstaff picks it up. Plays it wide towards the right. And Bogle, the right fullback for Leeds, just tucks it back. And West Ham United go into a deep block, and then as soon as the ball goes back over the halfway line, just spring to try and press. Leeds try to beat that with Tanaka taking the ball up to halfway. Now Ampadu has it on halfway. He strides forward, there's a bit of a gap, he exploits that, pokes it into Longstaff, then looks for the return. He's a bit behind Aronson, but he readjusts his body, gets it wide out towards the right. A chance to cross from Bogle, it's towards the far post, and then coming into the far post is Calvert-Lewin, who comes back into the path of Aronson, and Aronson scores inside the first 3 minutes at Ellen Road. Leeds United have missed so many big chances, but you don't get to play West Ham United every week, and they've already taken full advantage. Nuno's gambles backfired within inside just a few seconds at Ellen Road, and Leeds United lead by a goal to nil.
Pathetic, weak. What was that for defending? You can't call it defending. Terrific from Leeds though, really quick, really incisive with their passing. Just a couple of passes and across to Bogle. He wastes no time. Wants to test this West Ham defence in the air. Just plays a loopy ball in, you have to say, from the right hand side. Okafor just beats Scholes, who's got to do better. He's got to be stronger. Age is nothing. Got to be strong at this level. He allows Okafor the header down. Areola parries as he normally does. Aronson's nice and sharp. Where's the West Ham defenders looking to react? What a start for Leeds.
Yeah, but was Calvert-Lewin standing in front of the goalkeeper when the ball was put in? Because I think he was in an offside position. So I just wonder whether or not the VAR is going to check here for a possible offside. They have checked, and the goal has been given. Just wondered there, because there was quite a hefty delay, and the VAR was looking at it, but I think it was inevitable that ball was going to go in, because there was no one there to stop him from putting it in the net. It was ridiculous defending. 1-0 to Leeds United. Ball goes up into midfield. There's a challenge in the air. Dropping down already, adjusting his furniture, is Andy Irvine. His face got a proper whack in the nose there, and he felt it. It was a poor touch initially, and he got, I think, the side of the shoulder from Ayo Tanaka right on his hooter.
Yeah, it's nasty, wasn't it? It was a really heavy touch from Irvine, and then he chases the touch, and Tanaka's there first. Wins the header and obviously connects with the shoulder. I think it's the fall as he sort of smashes his face on the floor there, Irvine. But you're right to look at that. Calvert-Lewin was definitely in and around the goalkeeper. It would have had an effect, but now I think when the VAR look at it, if the goalkeeper has at least a good view of the ball as it's about to be struck, then they're going to give the goal.
Well, what a great start for Leeds United. Their home record is actually stellar. Before their defeat to Tottenham ahead of the last international break, they hadn't lost a game for a year. West Ham have endured their worst ever start to a league campaign, and the last time they were this bad, they went down. If they keep playing like this, they're going down again. I mean, it's a terrible start. If you're Nuno Espirito Santo, you've put that team out. The social media reaction to that team coming out was a bit like ours. Baffling, deflation. I mean, people saying, I feel so sorry for the away fans already after seeing the selected lineup. No striker, slow midfield, slow centre-backs, prepare for another hammering. Like most Hammers fans tonight, I'm bemused at this lineup. What does Nuno see in training? That this is his selection? You know, the idea of playing a left footer as a right back who's never played there before until last Monday, and Ollie Skulls at right back when he didn't have a great game and was dragged at half time. Wan-Bissaka, who is an out and out right back, playing at left back, all baffles everybody's brain. And then to go down 1-0 inside 3 minutes, I mean, it just makes things 10 times worse.
Yeah, it's a terrible look, and it's confusing for the players, but let's not give them a total excuse. You're still out there, you're still professional, you know how to play the game, you know what it takes to come up against your opponent, and ultimately, if you don't have the desire to go and win a header, or make it difficult for somebody, or react when your goalkeeper makes a save, or if you're the goalkeeper you get hold of it, that's on the players. I'm sorry, you can't just blame the manager for that. That's on the players to show the desire when you put that shirt on to give everything and understand your role. And That's what I mean. It was just so weak.
Not in the line of vision and not impacting play was the view from the VAR on Dominic Calvert-Lewin's position in front of Alphonse Areola. He kicks the ball long, up over the halfway line as West Ham trying to find a way back into the game. Leeds win the first header through Rodon, and then Tanaka gives the ball away cheaply. Diouf has it right side, one out on this near touchline by Paquetá, and that's been fended through into the path of Wan-Bissaka, who's getting forward on the West Ham left. Ampadu goes across to him, right on the edge of the area, and then it comes back out to Diouf, who's got the chance to cross, declines that invitation, goes back infield to Irvin, and then things start moving again with West Ham deep in possession. It's 1-0 to Leeds United. Brendan Aronson with the goal after just 3 minutes. And there's a problem for Ampadu, who was a bit of a doubt actually before the game. He's gone down inside midfield, midway in the Leeds United half, and the referee's just stopped the game. I think he's just winded, just took a whack, and he'll be back on his feet very shortly. We've played 8 minutes. It feels like we've been here for about 20 seconds, but it is 1-0 to Leeds United.
I think it was the referee.
Did the referee just take him out?
I think he did.
The referee just took out Ampadu.
Just interesting though that West Ham, the first time they've got into Leeds' half, get the ball wide, Diouf gets his head up, and there's no striker in there, of course, because there isn't one playing. Bowen was actually peeled off as if he was a right winger, too far for Diouf to consider the cross. That's the issue when you don't have that player up there that thinks like a striker and moves like a striker.
Stuart Atwell has to give a drop ball because he was the one who impeded Ampadu, so he's restarting the game where West Ham were about to take possession of the football. He drops it to Andy Irvin, who's just left of the centre circle, a couple of yards inside the Leeds United half. He plays it square onto Souček, and Souček then finds Ollie Skars. I wonder what he's thinking at this time, because actually it was him and Bogle who were racing for the ball over on the far side, and it was Bogle who got there first. Somerville into the box with a cross. It's a decent one which Bogle deals with. An overhead kick, brilliant from Bowen, saved by Perry. It's a brilliant save. It's an unbelievable effort from Jared Bowen, athletically executing a bicycle kick which Luca Perry had to save, and he did.
Oh, it was magnificent technique though, wasn't it, from Jared Bowen? Just headed up by Bogle perfectly for him. He just had a little look at it, just used that right arm to lead, and as it fell away from the back of his head, then that left foot came whipping through. It was a brilliant strike right at the goalkeeper Perry, and I tell you what, the reaction was absolutely superb from the goalkeeper, because he had to parry the first one because of the pace, but then got out bravely just to pat that away.
Leeds have been solid, unspectacular at home. The 0-0 with Newcastle, the 1-0 against Everton on opening night. We were here for that, but they have missed chances. Not tonight. They're already on the score sheet. We've played 10 minutes, 1-0. Ball sent out towards the left-hand side. It's bounced down by Calvert-Lewin into the path of Tanaka. Here is Longstaff twisting away, trying to feed the ball into Bogle. Now Ampadu's got it. He wants to return Bogle. He won't get there because Wan-Bissaka has come across. Wan-Bissaka intelligently plays it against Bogle, and it goes out for a throw-in on the near side, the halfway line. It's West Ham in possession, 5 yards inside opposition territory. Nuno Espirito Santo standing on the edge of the technical area, looking a little bit pensive. And what Leeds really can't afford to do is sit back and invite pressure from West Ham United. They've almost got to try and take the game back to West Ham and really force them onto the back foot, haven't they?
Brilliant header. Get him in up front for West Ham, that fella there. Just whipped his cap off, and brilliant bullet header back towards Wan-Bissaka on the touchline.
It was cleared into the stand here, and he very quickly and rather athletically jumped up and headed that back.
But you're right, Leeds, after such a good start, it will have been what they were talked about. I thought it was excellent in terms of that first attack, flood the penalty area, hope that, you know, that the ball, if it gets knocked down, you're there, and they were nice and bright in that sense, but then don't now sit off and give some confidence back to West Ham.
1-0 to Sheffield United, away from home at Preston North End at Deepdale, live on TalkSport 2 right now. Andre Brooks with the goal after 10 minutes. Chris Wilder's team leading by a goal to 0 in the Championship tonight over on TalkSport 2. More Championship football for you this evening and tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Commentary are in action again. The league leaders tomorrow at 12:30. Here is Crescencio Somerville, former Leeds player, giving the ball away, nabbed by Goodmanson, taken on by Okafor, who's in the team tonight down that left-hand side. Across the field it goes to Bogle, who clips it forward, and the strong running of Longstaff will put pressure on Wan-Bissaka here. He dives in, the ball runs loose, it's picked up by Aronson, into the near post it goes, it's fended away by Kilman, and out for a throw-in on this near side. There was a good sharp quick attack from Leeds United, and they got numbers up on the edge of the box.
Yeah, just looking to overload this side, aren't they, where Wan-Bissaka and Diouf are playing. It was a brilliant run from Longstaff just beyond midfield, diving in with Wan-Bissaka, and Aronson did the right thing. Calvert-Lewin was the option, just trying to flash that across the 6-yard line, and it was good positioning from Kilman.
Remember, Bournemouth needed a late goal here to draw in this stadium when they played Leeds. Spurs were tested. If they are going to be picking up points, it's probably going to be at Ellen Road, and they're in front here thanks to the goal scored by Aronson after 3 and a bit minutes. Ball out on the far side. The Leeds United left. Gudmundsson, who's started every Premier League game, gets the ball back to Ampadu. He slides it to Luca Perry, the Brazilian goalkeeper. He hesitates, plays it square, and it's collected by Bijol. He nudges it forward. Gudmundsson into Ampadu. Ampadu's often the hub of the Leeds United build-up play. Takes it in, distributes it, keeps things ticking over. He gets it forward. There's a slip by Okafor, and the ball runs through to the West Ham defence, and it's kicked clear by their goalkeeper Areola, but it comes straight back. Okafor's got it now, little back heel on the overlap on the left hand side. It's Gudmundsson, he tries to take on the defender, plays it against Todibo, who came across to him. It goes out for a corner, and he tries to whip up the crowd over in the Norman Hunter stand away to our right hand side, because he wants more energy. He wants to try and capitalise on this fast start that Leeds United have made.
And they want to make use of the wide areas. What they'll do is, with the 3 midfield players that Leeds have got, and they do it well, Ampadu goes and sits. The wide full-backs, Gudmundsson and Bogle, are nice and high, and then they can double up against the West Ham full-backs if Somerville and Diouf don't get back and do that work.
Here's the corner from Longstaff, far side, right-footed in towards the near post. He's headed in by Rodon. It's 2-0, 15 minutes in. Rodon scores. Leeds United double their lead. Forget your big chances, forget your XGs. There's only one statistic that matters in football: goals, and Leeds have got 2 of them.
I mean, come on. The manager's giving you an opportunity again after a shocking display against Brentford. These are the basics of any football level, is go and win a header, go and stop the opposition heading the ball into the back of your net. Rodon just wants it more. It's a fantastic delivery from Longstaff. He really does whip it in with pace and bend in towards that 6-yard line, but Rodon just gets away from Paquetá. That's pathetic defending too. He just gets away from him, runs into the 6-yard line, and it's planted perfectly on his forehead because of the delivery. He just heads it right into the corner from 6 yards out and gives Leeds a 2-0 lead.
Joe Rodon has been racking up a few shots recently. He's a physically imposing man, and he loves trying to get on the end of things. He whacked the post against Tottenham. He actually scored for Wales in Liechtenstein in September, but his last goal for Leeds was a header in December against Derby, and he has scored again. He crashed that header in, and already West Ham United are warming up Callum Wilson away to our left-hand side, 15 minutes in. I mean, I'm not being rude, but it wasn't a secret that you had a striker on the bench.
Yeah, it's an incredible decision, isn't it? And it's backfired massively so far for West Ham, but let's give credit to Leeds. Brilliant start, energetic, they move the ball extremely well. They've got midfield, that extra midfield player forwards to try and overload the West Ham defence. That's where the corner came from. And then they've had the desire to win that first ball in the penalty area.
2-0 they lead, and they've had 2 shots on target and scored both of them, and West Ham United are crumbling again. I just wonder now if they're just going to settle into more of a back 5 here, West Ham, because Diouf has now gone in alongside the 3 centre halves, and it's looking a little bit more defensive from West Ham United. It's Leeds 2, West Ham 0. Talk Sport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Leeds versus West Ham live right now. Search Now Sports. Daniel Farke wants more from his team. He wants to try and finish this off nice and early. They lead by 2-0. This will be a massive result if they can get that. In their last match, West Ham managed just one shot on target in 90 minutes. In fact, that's their only shot on target in 2 games. They've had one here tonight, which was an overhead kick from Bowen, but the chances of them scoring 3 times to win this game seems a little bit fanciful.
It's just so obvious when we look from this great vantage point into that midfield area, the 3 white shirts of the Leeds midfielders and the 2 of West Ham, and we're not talking about 2 unbelievable athletes that are going to get around the pitch, that got that defensive mindset. You know, Souček's going out towards Ampadu. Irvin doesn't know whether to go to Tanaka or to Longstaff. No one's bursting out of that back 3 to help them.
Sheffield United 2-0 up. Callum O'Hare gets a second goal for Chris Wilder's team over on TalkSport 2 in the Championship. Here it's 2-0 to Leeds. Bogle wins a challenge with Diouf, who didn't fancy it. Goes out of play on this near side and away for a throw. 18 gone. And West Ham look a little bit shell-shocked here at the start that Leeds have made. And they haven't started, and that's an issue. Callum Wilson warming up away to our left-hand side, going through quite an intensive warm-up now. Ball played up towards Diouf, but taken by Bogle. Leeds have got to try and manage the game well. What they've been really good at, actually, is not conceding too many chances during matches. And it has been a bit of a change of approach under Daniel Farke from the way that he operated previously in the Premier League. They are going to make this change, you know, West Ham. They're going to bring on Callum Wilson. And if the reason was that you didn't start with Callum Wilson because you didn't think he was fit enough, the fact that you're bringing him on after 19 minutes sort of makes a mockery of that decision, doesn't it, Dean?
Oh, massively. Absolutely.
Here come West Ham through the middle, challenged by Rodon. The ball pops up for Tanaka. The ball was won despite Irvin going to ground. It's cleared by Tanaka up towards Calvert-Lewin. Kilman wins the header. It breaks in midfield. It's picked up again inside the centre circle. There's still a problem inside the box away to our left for a West Ham player who's down. I think that's Ollie Scarles, I think, who's gone down inside the penalty area. Irvin and Souček continue to play. Somerville has it halfway. He's getting booed. They've turned the ball over, but the referee has come to West Ham's rescue by giving a free kick on the halfway line. Looks like his shoulder is a problem here, Ollie Scarles. Luca Perry has come out towards the edge of the penalty area, and he's had a word with Ollie Scarles and then pointed to his shoulder.
Yeah, he just took a nasty fall as he went through. And just grabbed that shoulder straight away.
I mean, look,
didn't move.
They didn't know that he was going to get injured in that scenario, but they were already planning to take him off, Dean. And that means that he has been played out of position twice in 2 games. A young West Ham Academy graduate has been played out of position in 2 games and dragged off at half-time in the first one and dragged off after 20 minutes in the second one. If you're a player, what message is that sending you?
Look, it's not ideal, and it makes it difficult when you're a young player to adapt to playing in a position you're not used to. But again, you can't use it as an excuse. You can't. You're expected to get out there and play and compete, and he didn't for the first goal. That was for sure. But obviously, it's a massive admission from the manager to make this change so early on. And to be honest, I don't mind it. I'd much prefer him to admit that he's got it wrong and change things. For if any manager does that, I think that at least shows that at least you're going to swallow your pride and try and get something out of the game.
Yeah, I can understand that, but the question would be, why did you do it in the first place? Because everybody else noticed that it wasn't going to work from the minute the team sheet dropped. Why did he feel that this was the right way of operating?
Because that's what he's looked at. He'll have looked at the way Leeds play, he'll have looked at his players, and that's how he will have chosen, looking at the tactics that he will have wanted to have used. And I think he might have felt, do you know what, I'm going to give these players another chance. He might have, read the riot act to them after the last game and said, actually, you're going to go out there again and prove to me and prove to the supporters that you can do it, and they haven't been able to. 21 minutes gone. It's currently Leeds 2, West Ham 0. We're still in delay here because they're waiting for a stretcher to bring off the unfortunate Ollie Scarles, who has had a very terrible working week. Monday wasn't brilliant. Friday's got even worse. And midway through the first half, he's going to be replaced, and Callum Wilson is going to come on. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Leeds to win the game at 14-1 on. The draw is 10-1. West Ham to win is 22-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. It's 18+. BeGambleAware.org. First goal
And Okafor's header comes back off the goalkeeper to Aronson, who tucks it in. And the second goal crashed in at the near post by Joe Rodon. Got away from Lucas Paquetá, who wasn't really close enough to him. In fact, by the time he connected with the header, he was about 5 yards away. Dean Ashton is shaking his head.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch that, because
Halloween's next Friday night, isn't it?
he just simply allows Rodon, who is aggressive enough, just to palm him away. There was no reaction from Paquetá to really get back and make it difficult for him. And then he was there to plant the header, guide the header into the corner. It's a terrific header from Rodon.
Kyle Walker-Peters is warming up on this near side as well. I mean, what can you say? Leeds just waiting for the attention to be given to Ollie Scarles. Now, I don't know what the issue is. I mean, we think it's shoulder, but they haven't. The stretcher bearers haven't been allowed to come on the pitch yet. So Lucas Paquetá is over there, just sort of trying to administer a little bit of help. They're sitting him up now, Ollie Scarles, but he's obviously seriously injured, and that's why we've got a huge delay here. It might give Nuno Espirito Santo just a little moment just to communicate with his players. He's now walking back towards the dugouts, and they're proper dugouts here, so the edge of the pitch and then the sort of glassed off area where the coaches all sit are dug out into the ground. He's spent most of his time patrolling that technical area. Daniel Farker, a few steps further back from the touchline, is speaking to his assistants and getting a little bit of advice. Leeds have really got to capitalise on this.
Just interesting to see Sean Longstaff has just gone over to Biel. I wonder if he sort of looked across to Callum Wilson. I wonder whether he's just sort of telling him what to expect when he does eventually come on, Wilson. But if you're the Leeds players again, this change is going to be made. Do not let up. You know, they're down there as well. This would be a massive 3 points for Leeds. Do not let up. Do not give them any confidence.
Well, change of shape straight away. So Wan-Bissaka goes out to right back. Diouf goes to left back. It's Todibo and Kilman in the centre of the back line. Back to a more conventional West Ham formation with Bowen on the right, Somerville on the left, and Paquetá behind Callum Wilson up top. His goal-scoring record not particularly good. He's got one goal in his last 24 Premier League appearances, but boy do they need him to chip in with a goal or two now. It's Leeds 2, West Ham 0. We've had a 4.5 minute delay, and the free kick to be taken on halfway is by Andy Irvine, who clips it forward into the penalty area. It's headed away by Bujold and then picked up by Somerville near touchline, who's getting booed by the Leeds United supporters. Into Irvine again. He's on the edge of the centre circle. Wan-Bissaka coming forward just right side. A ripple of applause for the injured Ollie Scarles down in front of us as Wan-Bissaka is tripped, is he? No. According to the assistant on the far side and Stuart Atwell, there was a coming together with Okafor, not a trip. It runs out of play, goes out for a goal kick, and it's a Leeds United ball.
Well, I prefer Jarrod Bowen on that right hand side. I think you get the best out of him over there. You can feed the ball into him, he can get at the full back, he can make a run off the centre forward. So I think already shape wise I much prefer the look of the West Ham setup.
The Leeds haven't really caught fire in the Premier League before tonight. They start the night 16th, 6 points behind the playoff winners Sunderland. They had 14 shots in defeat to Burnley but no goals, but they're already on the score sheet here twice. They lead by 2-0. Luca Perry sends it long through the middle of the pitch towards Calvert-Lewin, who loses out to Todibo. It bounces down to Gudmundsson, and Okafor takes it over the halfway line. He clips the ball from left to right. He was looking for the run of Bogle, but Somerville went up and intercepted the ball, chested it down, and West Ham now are in control. They have it on the right side in their fullback position with Wan-Bissaka. The long-limbed DR Congo international switched allegiances now and is playing on a regular basis for DR Congo, who hope to go to the World Cup. Callum Wilson chasing him behind as Rodon nudges the ball back towards Luca Perry, who gets there ahead of the former England international.
He's still got a good turn of pace though, Callum Wilson. So what he will do is he will really threaten there. Rodon was at full tilt to get that back to his goalkeeper.
Longstaff pops the ball off towards the far side after breaking in behind the initial line of the West Ham press. It's sent wide out towards the left, and Okafor helps it on to Goodmanson, but it was overhit by him. It runs down the left side of the penalty area as Leeds United look at it, and now they're playing away to our right-hand side for a goal kick to Leeds United. And the good news for West Ham is that it's 2-0 with 3/4 of the game to go. So there's a long time for them to try and find a way back into the match.
Yeah, you've got to try and look at some positives. But again, if you Leeds United, you don't let that settle. You don't. You get at them still. They still won't be used to this exact system with these players.
Wow. Malik Diouf has just taken the ball down the left touchline, stopped it, tried to back heel it, I don't know who to, but straight out of play. Wow.
Well, it's the confidence, isn't it? It's the confidence that has dropped so far, so difficult to pull back. You've got to do it yourself. There's no one else going to help you. You're out there on your own. You've got to pull yourself back into focus and your performance levels.
Good work by Aronson. Drags the ball back, takes it between two West Ham players, nudges it infield. Longstaff works it to Bijol. They move up down the left-hand side with Okafor. Leeds United in control here. They have a 2-goal advantage against West Ham. They know how important this 6-pointer could be. Rodon under pressure from Paquetá. It would have been good if Paquetá had got that close to him from the set piece and they wouldn't be 2-0 down. He's given away a free kick now in the centre circle. And Leeds have the ball just 2 yards short of the halfway line. And the rain coming down here in Yorkshire. It's been a chilly old day today. Dean Ashton's wearing that bobble hat. Is this the first time you busted it out at football this season?
It is. I needed to. I forgot my coat, which is never the right decision, is it?
In October.
Luckily, I've got the most grandad of grandad jumpers on. It's actually right.
Yeah, those muscles are still rippling through it. Here is Diouf on the near touchline under pressure from Aronson. Just shuffles the ball back to Kilman. Kilman across to his goalkeeper, Alphonse Areola, who's being closed down by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who was chasing and putting him under pressure. He managed to squeeze it out to Wan-Bissaka though, Areola, and Wan-Bissaka has then just fired the ball down the right touchline. I mean, he's not going to find Jarrod Bowen with that pass, and Bijol will tidy up for Leeds United, who lead by 2-0 here on TalkSport. Here's Tanaka doing well. Oh, it's brilliant from Longstaff. Straight up to Calvert-Lewin, who turns and runs at the West Ham United defence. He's on the left side of the West Ham half. He moves in, plays it to Tanaka, edge of the D, right-footed shot, just over the bar. Now, it was just rising a little bit too much from Tanaka's boot from the moment he hit it, but that was good football from Leeds United. They went from back to front, a double quick speed, Calvert-Lewin involved, Tanaka involved, Longstaff set the move going. It was really good from Daniel Farke's team.
Yeah, making use of that extra man in midfield, isn't it? If you can move the ball quickly and bypass and pick out the extra man. It was Longstaff who was the extra player in midfield, and he found a brilliant pass to Calvert-Lewin, and then the other midfielder, Tanaka, can run off the back of Irving and be free to take the shot from the edge of the area, but just leant back slightly, skidded his boot underneath the wet ball, and up and over it went.
One thing we didn't mention after West Ham conceded that goal from the corner was that's now the 9th goal that they've conceded this season from corners. 9 goals from corners this season. Wow. Here's Longstaff, edge of the area. Oh, he should have hit it. He sent it into the path of Bogle. Bogle was never going to get there. It was too far ahead of him. But if he'd hit it there, the goalkeeper was unprotected.
Madness, really, to not take that on. Longstaff, we know he's got a really good strike on him. Should have had the confidence there to take that on. He's looking up to the sky. He knew he should have done.
It's a good chance for for Leeds United to capitalise on more disarray. And it remains 2-0. Half an hour gone now. This is TalkSport on a Friday night. Remember, tomorrow, Coventry against Watford is 12:30 TalkSport 2. We've got Millwall Leicester as well. And then Adrian taking you around the grounds tomorrow. The big 3 p.m. kickoffs. Here is Goodmanson down the left-hand side. Todibo goes towards him. Going to come through to Aronson. Oh, he went to step over it instead of hit it because he felt the presence of Kilman. And he didn't commit to whacking that ball. He jumped over it rather than going for it, and Kilman managed to nudge it away.
Yeah, he was flaky, wasn't he, there, Aronson? That was there to be smashed through ball, man, everything into the back of the net, and he just felt the presence of Kilman, who dived in brilliantly actually to get a touch on the ball because Aronson allowed him to, and the chance was gone. Maybe if he had that chance again, Aronson, maybe just take that touch away from the diving Kilman.
15 gone, or 15 to go, sorry, in the first half, and it's Leeds 2, West Ham 0. West Ham would hope that there was still well over an hour to go in the game. They would love that we were still right at the very beginning. We're not. We've played half an hour and it's 2-0 to the home team. Somerville trying to poke that into the path of Paquetá inside the area, across into the box which is steered towards Wilson. It's away by Bijol, picked up by Somerville once again. He's put it straight out of play on this near side. The Leeds fans are going to love that. They are going to love that. He was quite useful for them, wasn't he, when he was here? 89 appearances, 25 goals, 12 assists, a very productive spell. His West Ham career has certainly not been as productive, has it, Dean?
No, I mean, he's shown flashes of excellent ability, that brilliant dribbling ability that he's got, but the end product hasn't been there in a West Ham shirt when they desperately need it to be. And again, he's one that has to step forwards, can't just rely on Jared Bowen.
And that's something that the manager was talking about in the press conference yesterday. It was all about team, it was all about ethic, of spirit and everyone being together, and they can't just rest on the shoulders of Jared Bowen, who's driving them forward now down the right hand side. He skips past two challenges, then plays a lovely reverse ball. Paquetá with a little effort, it comes back to him kindly. It's off the roof of the bar and in. I think he might be offside here. The referee has given the goal initially on field. Paquetá has scored for West Ham, and now the flag goes up over on the far side and it's ruled out. I thought it was offside initially. The VAR will certainly check it. The flag has now gone up belatedly after a conversation between Stuart Atwell and his assistant over on that far side. It looked offside as the ball came back. It depends who plays the ball here.
Well, it's the challenge, isn't it, from
Wilson.
Bogle on Somerville. Who does it?
I think it comes off Wilson.
Wilson, who's following up the play as Paquetá just tried to, but does it hit Wilson then Bogle? Paquetá is so close anyway.
Well, it's an intentional play by Wilson, so it will be offside if he's in an offside position. The question now is whether or not he's in an offside position, because it did look quite tight actually when we saw it on the replay.
Just because of the defender's foot as he was stepping backwards, sometimes the body can look as if the player's offside, but then his foot has stepped back and kept the player onside. Paquetá didn't hesitate, just got his laces through it, underside of the bar and in. This could be massive.
Well, it's a huge moment in the game, because should West Ham be given this goal, then they will be in a situation where the gap to Leeds is just one going into the half-time break. There is a discussion to be had here with the West Ham captain, Jared Bowen. They're going to explain to him what the decision is. The fact that they're talking to those two suggests that it's going to be ruled out. Now, the ball is played by Bogle against Wilson. Wilson does go to try and play it. He does look to me as if he's in an offside position. His left foot is stretched out. They are measuring it back with semi-automated offside technology. I think it's pretty clear actually that he is in an offside position. I'm not sure that this delay needs to be as lengthy as it is.
I guess it's just trying to make sure exactly when the contact is from Bogle into offside. Wilson. As they've frozen the picture, it's pretty clear.
He's offside. The goal's going to be disallowed. It's going to remain 2-0 to Leeds United, and we're just waiting for confirmation of that. There you go.
But it just shows from a West Ham perspective, get that ball out to Jared Bowen, allow him to go and run at the Leeds defence. He's the one that can open things up with a lovely reverse pass into Paquetá to start things off.
Look at Nuno, he's standing on the touchline. The rain is teeming down around him, and it doesn't rain, does it? It pours. Everything is going against him. 2-0. Check complete. 37 minutes gone. We're going to have a lot of added time at the end of this first half as Dominic Calvert-Lewin tries to rise up above the defender Todibo and clip the ball into the path of Okafor. It runs out of play and goes out for a throw-in. It's picked up by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's going to get things started for West Ham over on the right-hand side. They have really struggled this season to find any momentum, West Ham United. And again, their defensive play and their battling qualities have not been in evidence here tonight. They lost 2 cheap goals early in the game, and now somehow they've got to find a way of coming back from this deficit. It's forward by Dieu from the left full-back position, up into the midpoint of the Leeds United half. It's won by Bijol, but given away by Longstaff, and he's given it away to dangerous Jared Bowen, who gets a shot away, left-footed. It was always going wide of the goal, and Perry allowed it to do that. It goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. You're listening to Leeds 2, West Ham 0. TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed with that, Jared Bowen. That's his perfect position, really. He's facing up the full-back. It was a great pass to him from Longstaff. And then he got at Goodmanson, and he likes to just shift it and shoot. Didn't quite get it out of his feet enough. Was a little bit stuck underneath, and he tried to jab it out towards the near post without getting the direction or the power on it.
Tomorrow we got Leicester versus Millwall at the New Den in the Championship. It's not on UK TV, it's only available on TalkSport 2. Faye Carruthers, Ian Danter and Perry Groves will be there. And tomorrow night Brentford against Liverpool with Rashmin Chowdhury. On Sunday I'll be at the Emirates for Arsenal Crystal Palace. I've got Aaron Lennon, Perry Groves, Mickey Gray, Alex Crook, full cast on Sunday because there's a huge number of games at Arsenal Palace. We've also got Aston Villa, Man City, Everton, Tottenham, and lots more besides. Make sure you join us from 1:30. Looking forward to that. Somerville has it and flicks the ball towards the Leeds defence from the edge of the centre circle. He loses out, gives possession to Leeds, and it's a brilliant little bit of trickery from Ampadu to drive forward. He goes past Irvine, leaves him dead for pace, gets to the edge of the area, clips back in on his left foot, tries to bend it in the far corner, and he just tried a little bit too hard to do everything himself because he missed the target by 4 or 5 yards. Wasn't a great finish at all in the end, but it was a brilliant run from deep inside his own half. I mean, Andy Irvine got nowhere near him. He just ran past him like he was at least 2 times as fast as the Scotsman, but the finish just not enough to even test the goalkeeper.
I mean, it was a brilliant run to start with. So direct, lovely footwork, bursts away, like you said, the pace and athleticism away from Irvine, gets to the edge of the box, didn't panic, lovely little Cruyff chop away, and then just when you want a nice bit of composure and quality, he couldn't find any. It was a pretty woeful attempt towards that far corner. You could even say that.
You could see why he hasn't scored since January 2024.
Yes.
Here's Somerville down the left for West Ham United, trying to clip infield and go past Aronson. Well, it was fouled there, Longstaff, by Somerville, would overrun the ball, and that's a yellow card. And again, there were Leeds United fans full of glee as Somerville picks up the first yellow card of the game.
I mean, look, great bit of skill, gets away from Aronson, heavy touch, dives in, treads right on the top of Longstaff's foot, just trying to make amends for the heavy touch, and like you said, just gives a lift to the Leeds crowd if they needed it.
5 minutes to go before half time plus stoppage time, of which there will be plenty, but I think we've probably got another 10 minutes before the break here, really, realistically. I mean, Daniel Farke, how will he be feeling? Because actually since they scored the second goal they've barely got anywhere near Alphonse Areola. There was that effort that maybe Longstaff should have had from the edge of the penalty area. That's really about it. They've been quite happy just to keep West Ham at arm's length.
I mean, look, it's difficult when you're not necessarily used to being in this position. You're used to having to try and protect your position and the goal, when actually, you're right, the opportunity has been there maybe to go and get the third goal, to just constantly put that pressure on, to go and press West Ham, but they've actually allowed them to have the ball and get the ball into their attacking players.
Well, Goodmanson had a problem with his back, went down, and the referee initially told him to go off the pitch to get treatment. The West Ham players wanted him to go off the pitch. That didn't happen. He's back on his feet over on the left-hand side after a sustained period of sort of trying to sort that out. He doesn't look in particularly great shape, and West Ham a little bit annoyed that he didn't have to go off the pitch. The ball is cleared upfield by Luca Perry towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's then headed out by Kilman. Now Goodmanson has gone down and he wants treatment, and again this is just a little extra delay. Jared Bowen complaining to Stuart Atwell.
Well, I think he wants to come off. I think that's what he's trying to say. That's what he was trying to do, and Ampadu wouldn't let him. But they haven't got anyone ready. That's the issue. None of the substitutes were back.
James Justin now just having a word with some of the coaching staff, and he is going to have to get stripped and ready for action. We're seeing a replay of some of Jared Bowen's best moments. He's been the driving force down that right-hand side, and actually I think, you remember when he went on that mazy run, got the ball onto his right foot and then shot towards goal, and it went just down to the goalkeeper's left? I think that was where, sliding in to try and prevent that opportunity, Gudmundsson has hurt himself. They're stretching out his left leg here. James Justin is getting ready to come on should they need to replace him immediately, and that will be a bit of a blow actually, because Gudmundsson's been pretty useful, especially going forward.
Yeah, he has. But as soon as the change was made from West Ham, obviously he's been up against Bowen, who's been at him 3 or 4 times already, twisting and turning, and you can tell he's maybe jarred his back. He keeps holding his back or the front of his groin. But Justin coming on, you'd expect him to go over to that left-hand side. He's played there before for Leicester, and also up against a left-footed right winger. Might favour him being right-footed.
I think he actually prefers playing left-back than he does right-back. I think I've heard him say that before, James Justin. He's going out to replace Gudmundsson, who prior to today has started all 8 of the Premier League games. He gets a lot of crosses in from that left-hand side as Gudmundsson. That is something they're going to lose with him not in the team. Justin goes out towards the left-hand side, and we get back underway. And it's a second substitution, another early one, not as early as the first one, but certainly an early substitution for Leeds United. It's one apiece in terms of substitutions. It's 2-0 to Leeds on the scoreboard. Bijol gets it back to Lucas Perry, who clips the ball forward. Again, it's far too long from him. Goes right down the middle of the pitch and evades Dominic Calvert-Lewin and goes into the arms of Alphonse Areola with his hair tied back in a ponytail and wearing a sort of, is it light green, or is it fluorescent green, or is it fluorescent yellow goalkeeping outfit? It's on the border of the two. He bowls the ball out into Todibo, and then he hits it long for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to chase. It's going to go out of play for a goal kick away to our left, and it's gone from one end to the other and back again very quickly.
Sorry, I didn't have my kaleidoscope with me to help you out.
Colour chart. Don't worry, we've got 13 minutes of additional time at the end of the first half to discuss colour charts if you'd like. 13 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Here is the goalkeeper Luca Perry playing short into Rodon from the goal kick. Ampadu then clips it into the air for Calvert-Lewin to go up with Kilman. Kilman heads the ball into the path of Todibo. He shovels it out to Diouf, not convincingly, and Diouf is immediately under pressure from Aronson, whose excellent pressing continues. He wins it, forces it into Tanaka, not the easiest ball to deal with. Paquetá gets it back. Bogle crashes into a challenge. It's all very scrappy. Aronson comes across. Tanaka gets in front of Irvin. It breaks for Souček. Paquetá tries to get away. Tackle from Rodon, sees the ball spill into the air, and then the ball eventually ends up on the left-hand side. Rodon steps in front of Paquetá and says, "I'll take charge in this situation, thank you very much," because the rest of you are making a meal of it.
Yeah, good defending, but by the way, the footwork from Paquetá on this near side was ridiculous. He had 4 players around him. He just kept chopping and changing and chopping and moving and changing and chopping and just kept the ball. It was brilliant.
Confirmation of 13 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. That free kick to be given just short of the halfway line. Nuno Espirito Santo is not happy on this near side. He thinks he's seen some infringement. Across goes one of his assistants. I think that's Gerard Prendeville, who's gone across to have a word with the 4th official. They're in deep conversation now, and the game continues on the field of play with Rodon for Leeds United, who have asserted their authority with 2 goals in the first half of the game. Aronson's got down the left. It was a good ball by Rodon into the path of Aronson, who's crossed towards the near post. Calvert-Lewin tries to get across the goalkeeper. He should have done. It goes through into the arms of Alphonse Areola. He immediately bowls it up towards Wilson. It's turned over though. Brilliant from Bijol. Well, hold on a second. Bijol wasn't penalised. Leeds escaped with the ball. 5 seconds later, Stuart Atwell's pulled it back and given a foul against the central defender for Leeds.
Well, it was a foul. I mean, it was like a wrestling body slam that Bijol got on Callum Wilson. But you're right, that was a brilliant, wicked ball in, wasn't it, from Aronson? Really zipping off the surface. Calvert-Lewin desperate to try and get ahead of Areola. Just felt, could he have really dived at that?
Lime, that's the colour, apparently. According to the official West Ham United website, lime, the colour of the goalkeeping kit. There you go.
Ah, okay.
If I go to the fridge and I've got a lime that colour, I'm panicking. Why is it in the fridge? Don't you put limes in the fridge? You do, don't you?
Normally put them in a beer.
Or gin and tonic. Yeah. Here is Rodon winning the ball on halfway. A few gin and tonics flowing with the Leeds supporters at the moment. Okafor trying to get on the front foot. He goes on the outside, then on the inside. Curls it to the far corner. It's not too far away. He gave a lick of paint to the left-hand upright. The way that he drifted in from the left-hand side and then the right, and then got it onto his right foot and curled it towards the far corner. Couldn't bend it enough back inside the post, but it was a brilliant choppy run from Noah Okafor.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? The footwork. Had it in his mind as he got towards Todibo. Little right, left, and then chopped back onto the right. Just couldn't quite get the curl on it. It's so difficult when the ball is so wet to get that curl on it.
Why?
Because you haven't got the same grip that you would have with a normal dry shot that you can really wrap your foot around it. Your foot skids off the ball, doesn't allow it to rotate the way you want it to, so you'd have to absolutely whip through it perfectly with this type of weather.
Tanaka wrestling with Paquetá. They've kept hold of the ball, West Ham, so the referee's played the advantage. It's gone out wide towards Soche, then comes back to Wan-Bissaka. Infield it goes to Irvin, up to Paquetá once again. He tries to turn, gets it back to Paquetá, who clips it over the top of the defence, but it's too heavy from him, the Brazilian, just sending that too long and into the arms of his compatriot, Lucas Perry, away to our left-hand side, whose shot saving ability has been questioned a little bit. He's got a save percentage of, I think, the 64, no, for even fewer than that. It's the second lowest percentage in the Premier League behind Jose Sarr, but he's only had to make one save really, and that was from Jared Bowen's overhead kick, the acrobatic effort early in the game. Longstaff centre circle, played it across to Rodon. Rodon tries to chip it up into Calvert-Lewin. It's headed away by Wan-Bissaka. Well won by Tanaka, who might have been fouled there by Paquetá. The referee allowed play on. Leeds kicked the ball out. Daniel Farker wanted a foul. Tanaka getting back to his feet. Slowly but surely.
And it's just drifting, isn't it, the game? I think even the players, when they saw 13 minutes, were a bit like, really? It's just drifted slightly in the favour of Leeds. They've had a bit of control.
Lewis Dobbin has scored for Preston North End. They've pulled one back against Sheffield United 4 minutes into injury time over on TalkSport 2. It's Preston North End 1, Sheffield United 2 in the Championship. And here at Ellen Road, it's 2-0 to Leeds United against West Ham, who didn't really start the game in any fit state really. They've already had to make adjustments to the formation that was sent out by Nuno Espirito Santo. They were going to do that before Ollie Scholes got injured, but his lengthy injury is why we have 13 minutes of added time in the game. The ball is out of play over on the far side. Paquetá has had a goal disallowed for offside as well. So we've had incidents without doubt to keep us entertained in the wet weather here in Yorkshire. West Ham United building up over on the right hand side, trying to send the ball long into Callum Wilson, not defended well by Bijol, and he's fended the ball into the path of Jared Bowen, but good covering by Longstaff, who's got across and managed to clear the ball out towards his right hand side, and Kilman, under real pressure, has had to guide it back to Alphonse Areola. It's not the greatest in terms of clearances. It's sent back by Ampadu, hopefully. Calvert-Lewin putting Kilman under pressure again. This time he gets enough on the ball to find his goalkeeper, and it's cleared away. But they do look a little bit shaky whenever the ball goes up to the edge of the penalty area. I'm not entirely convinced that the relationship between centre-halves and goalkeeper is entirely comfortable.
No, again, confidence is so key to any defence and goalkeeper, knowing that you can play it back with a bit of ferocity and the goalkeeper can deal with it, and vice versa.
Up it goes into the path of Aronson. He's pushed to the floor. Irvin turns it over, gives it to Souček. Jared Bowen down the left side of the Leeds United box, tries to get away, sends the ball through the centre of the penalty area. It's rifled away by Ampadu. A little bit of pressure here from West Ham United at the end of the first half. We played 52 minutes in the first half. We've still got another 7 still to play. And it remains 2-0 to Leeds. Somerville, who is tussling away on this near touchline. It should have been a Leeds throw. The referee gave a West Ham one. The assistant on the near touchline changed his mind for him. It's going to be a Leeds United ball. Konstantin Hatzidakis is the assistant on this near side.
Well, I know I'm stating the obvious, but it just looks so much better with Callum Wilson up there. What he does give you, he's sneaky strong. He's wise. He knows how to use his body and get it in and just give West Ham that focal point to hold the ball up.
And he's kept the ball alive down by the byline, although it has gone out. But he was the one bustling and hustling down in the corner flag, by the corner flag, to keep West Ham in possession. I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense as to why they haven't used him since Nuno Espirito Santo has been around. They didn't use him at Arsenal. And I remember listening to Game Day Live with Adrian that day, and you were there, and you were expressing surprise at that moment that Callum Marshall came on instead of Wilson. We were all shocked on Monday night with the team selection, and then when they were in a position where they could still be in the game, it was only 1-0 at the time, they brought Marshall on instead of Wilson again. And of course tonight, again, we were foxed by the formation that was sent out here. And the fact that he's now come on and it does look more comfortable, it does look more normal, just baffles everybody further.
Well, and he looks fit, doesn't he? He looks fit to play, and he has looked ready and fit to play for weeks now.
Here is Andy Irvin in front of the centre circle, wandering through it, nudging it to the far side. It's out to Souček and then on to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka back in field to Irvin. Irvin trying to feed the ball down to Souček, who's on the edge of the area. Wan-Bissaka whips across into the box. It bounces off Somerville, and then a little deflection takes it through to the goalkeeper Perry, who would clear it away. Of course, when you have that scenario where no one can quite work out why the manager isn't making the obvious decision and playing someone who clearly is able to feature in that position, has the experience to do so, and you're picking youngsters or not picking strikers at all, it does create a vacuum when there's no information forthcoming that there might be a wider problem. Here is Bogle into the penalty area down the right side. His shot is saved by Alphonse Areola from a tight angle, and it goes behind and away for a corner.
Yeah, incredibly tight angle, wasn't it, Bogle, to squeeze that in when Areola had his angles perfectly set, thrashed it towards goal and just bashed off Areola's thigh at the near post there.
West Ham line wasn't right there though, Dean. As Bogle makes the run, the two centre-halves have dropped, the full-back is a little bit higher, so the timing of the ball doesn't have to be perfect for him to get in that channel. Here is the corner. Longstaff with a clip towards the far post. Attacking it is Rodon, away by Souček this time. Drops on the edge of the area. Somerville coming away with the ball. Aronson goes across to meet him. Somerville trying to hold him off and play it infield to Andy Irvin. He nudges it back. It's collected by Diouf, who clears from the left full-back position. Under pressure from Bijol. That was a foul by Bijol. It's going to be a free kick, and the referee is down, just warning Jaka Bijol that he can't keep making rudimentary fouls. The Slovenian, who's making his Premier League debut tonight, just got a final warning from Stuart Atwell.
Yeah, he took his opportunity. He wasn't going to win the ball, to just bash into the back of Lucas Paquetá as he's playing up there. He needs to get closer to Callum Wilson as well. Paquetá.
You used to love a bash, didn't you? Dean Bashton.
Absolutely.
Here is Bowen over on the far side, in towards Souček, who rises to get a header above Rodon and Bijol, but steers it wide of goal, and that was an opportunity for West Ham to get back on the score sheet.
Oh, it was. Thomas Souček in that position, arriving late into the penalty area. Ball got played out to Bowen, and he just drifted in there. Lovely little clipped cross from Bowen, and once he's up there and he's got his head on it, Souček, he should score. He's not far out at all. He's 7 yards out. He gets above Rodon, and he just doesn't angle that header into the far corner.
This is what Leeds got to be a little bit careful of, Dean, actually. Just maybe taking their foot off the gas a little bit and inviting a few opportunities for West Ham, who will hope to try and find a way back into the game. Here is Somerville on the halfway line, trying to come infield. Ampadu goes across and snuffs out the attack before it can really develop, and it breaks out for a throw-in on this near touchline.
Yeah, I mean, actually, when you look at the performance from Leeds, it's not been incredible, has it?
No.
They got the two early goals, and after that, not offered a great deal, the odd little counter-attack here and there, but actually they've sat deep and allowed West Ham just to keep possession.
Not necessarily sure that's the right tactic, although they've given the ball away here, West Ham, and they've invited pressure from Leeds now because Okafor is steaming down the left-hand side, but he took too long to pass him the ball. It might come through to him anyway. Wan-Bissaka dives in. Todibo tidies up, and that was a missed opportunity by Leeds United because releasing that ball earlier from Ampadu into Okafor, and West Ham United all running towards their own goal, would have faced a heftier challenge.
I mean, you've got to know your players there, haven't you? Ampadu must realise that Wan-Bissaka's got the legs like an old car aerial that just goes up and up and up and just manages to stop that pass going through. That's his absolute forte. You can't play it that way. Play it the other way.
Remember those, you had to put them down before you went in the car wash.
Yes.
Otherwise it wasn't there when you finished.
I don't know why I've thought of that.
I don't know why you thought of that. Dashboard Dean Ashton with us tonight. Anyone who's watched the Premier League All Access podcast on YouTube gets that reference. If not, go and check it out. West Ham United fans being rather vociferous in their response to that first half. A few boos from the away end, away to our right-hand side. Leeds haven't beaten West Ham at Ellen Road since Girls Aloud were singing Sounds of the Underground. Well, after goals in that first 45 from Rodon and Aronson, Leeds are helping to flush West Ham's Premier League season down the tube. The West Ham fans are on their feet. They are barracking the players and the coaching staff as they go down the tunnel at half-time because they're losing again and they haven't scored any goals again. At the break, it's Leeds 2, West Ham 0. Well, the last Leeds Premier League win at Ellen Road against West Ham, when was it? February 2003. Seth Johnson bagged the winner. West Ham have been unbeaten in the last 3 Premier League visits, and Leeds United making a change at half-time and replacing Okafor with Harrison. Now, Okafor was a slight doubt before the game, and he's managed just 45 minutes. It means the whole of that left side has changed, Dean Ashton, because Gudmundsson also had to be replaced in the first half. But what do Leeds United have to do to ensure that West Ham's unbeaten record here, they have a habit of taking points from Ellen Road, doesn't continue?
Well, I think at the start of the game it was the intensity, wasn't it, that West Ham couldn't handle, and they just lacked that. And I mean intensity higher up. There's been the intensity in the midfield area and the 2 centre-backs, but I think higher up in terms of pressurising West Ham when they're playing out, I think could be the key to go and get that third goal. But ultimately it's difficult when you're down there to want to protect what you've got.
Harrison comes into the team on this left-hand side, immediately puts pressure on Souček and Todibo. Calvert-Lewin's been very good at pressurising the goalkeeper, and he's done that again, and he's almost forced an error. Souček has managed to win a foul from Tanaka as the ball almost broke down on the edge of the West Ham box. I'll go through the 2 11s for you as they stand now. Leeds United all in white, shooting from right to left towards the Dom Reed stand, away to our left-hand side. They've got Luca Perry in goal, Bogle, Rodon, Bijol and James Justin now in the back 4. Longstaff, Ampadu and Tanaka in midfield with Aronson and Calvert-Lewin and Harrison in the attack. For West Ham, all in claret today. They've got Areola in goal. The right back is Wan-Bissaka now. Todibo, Kilman, the 2 centre-halves with Diouf at left back. In midfield, Andy Irvin and Souček. Paquetá was playing as a 10 in the first half. He's now at the moment stationed alongside the centre-half Todibo, deep inside his own half with West Ham in possession. Somerville's playing off the left, Bowen off the right and Wilson through the centre. The ball popped into Jarrod Bowen, but at rapid speed it goes out of play straight away, and it's a throw-in which Justin will take in the left full-back position. He clips it forward towards Calvert-Lewin, who wins his header. It bounces inside the centre circle. Longstaff applies pressure to Paquetá, who manages to hold it, twirl and send it up towards Callum Wilson. Jakob Bijol manages to win his first initial challenge and then gives it away at the second time of asking. Justin just about keeps tabs on Bowen, who was threatening to escape down the right side of the box, and it's poked out for a throw in which Wan-Bissaka will take.
Well, it's been excellent in terms of Callum Wilson. If he can't win it cleanly, he doesn't let the centre-backs win it, so he's getting those second balls that have been so important to West Ham building their attacks.
Calvert-Lewin trying to head the ball away from Kilman, got a little nudge in the back, dropped to the floor. Play continues with West Ham in possession. Not a great ball forward by Bowen, but Bijol was being pulled and pushed by Souček. He did have his shirt tugged. It was pretty apparent right from the very off. And he's got to be a little bit careful because he hasn't looked as secure as Pascal Struijk has looked in recent games. Struijk is only on the bench tonight because of fitness concern. Leeds United have taken 8 points from the opening 8 Premier League games. Only fewer points at this stage in the Premier League season was back in 21-22 when they had 6. West Ham have taken 4 points from their opening 8 Premier League games. This is their worst ever start to a Premier League season, and unless they can come up with 2 goals here, it's about to get even worse. Luca Perry, the goalkeeper, rifles the ball forward into the night sky. It's wet and chilly in Yorkshire. It's headed back by Irvin and then all the way through the middle of the pitch to Luca Perry again. Now Bijol takes it edge of the penalty area into Justin. Justin tight to the touchline. Infield to Ampadu. Ampadu looks forward, nudges it into Calvert-Lewin. He takes it wide towards the left. Harrison has it now. Halfway line for Leeds. Forces it into Aronson. Does well. Now Ampadu picks it up. Was he coming back from an offside position there, Aronson? I think he was. And Leeds' his attack has the momentum taken out of it once again. It's a free kick, West Ham midway inside their own half.
They've got to be a little bit braver with the ball, Leeds. They've got that extra player in midfield at times. They can play it into Calvert-Lewin and feed off him as well, rather than just hitting it towards Calvert-Lewin. Can they play through this West Ham midfield to try and open up for the third goal?
West Ham will be hoping to see the back of 2025 pretty quickly, I think. And they've been the worst performing ever present team in the Premier League during that time. They've taken the fewest points in the Premier League over that period, and they've conceded the most goals and had the most managers as well. And they're on their second one of the season. Here is Tanaka, wide towards Aronson, who plays it against Diouf, and it goes back into the left full-back position, and Kilman has to come across because he can't afford to let it go out of play. He gives it to Areola, immediately under pressure from Calvert-Lewin. The ball goes long. Justin does enough to put Bowen off, and Leeds have it just inside their own half. Forward it goes to Tanaka. Tanaka out to Harrison. Harrison back to Justin, and then it's into Bijol.
Yeah, that's better from Leeds, isn't it? That's not though. That was better though, just in terms of there's no rush. Keep the ball, use that extra player in midfield, just not be as sloppy as Tanaka was there.
Over on TalkSport 2, it's a thrilling 2-2 draw at the moment between Sheffield United and Preston North End at Deepdale. Japhet Tanganga's goal at the start of the second half has really spiced things up. Mark Wilson leading the commentary team over on TalkSport 2 right now. Just download our app, you can flick between the 2 stations. And remember, tomorrow we've got a host of action on both stations, and that big fight tomorrow night, Joseph Parker against Fabio Wardley. Heavyweight boxing from the O2 Arena for the WBO interim title. That's live tomorrow. The boxing YouTube channel, TalkSport's boxing YouTube channel, also has all the build-up to it. But remember, is Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley this Saturday, 7:30 on the TalkSport network, or you can watch live on DAZN. Ball sent forward by Harrison, rather aimlessly. Kilman sticks it straight out of play, and it goes out for a throw-in on halfway. With Leeds leading by 2-0 live on TalkSport tonight, and hoping to move further away from the relegation zone. It's a big night, isn't it? Because if you get the points this evening, you are damaging a relegation rival and putting points on the board that moves you away from danger yourself.
Yeah, of course, if you can get those points as early as possible before the others play. It's that dreaded dotted line that no one wants, either just above them or just below them. The worry that gives the other teams having to think about that overnight and into tomorrow and Sunday.
Preston North End have come from 2-0 down to lead 3-2 over on TalkSport 2, and Daniel Jebison, who I think had a spell at Sheffield United, has scored the goal 2 minutes before the hour mark. Daniel Jebison for Preston North End, they lead 3-2. Here is Rodon Out to Bogle, clips it over the top looking for the run of Calvert-Lewin in behind, but Kilman is stationed well and nudges it back into the path of Diouf. It goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, but Harrison is coming. Areola releases it quickly right up towards the halfway line where it's flicked on by Paquetá. There's a bit of wrestling going on between Bijol and Wilson. The ball spills in Leeds United's favour, and now Aronson goes chasing down the right. Kilman comes across, gets there. Aronson plays it against Kilman. It goes out of play, and it's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, they've used that a lot, Leeds. That ball down the side of Diouf. Kilman not really wanting to go out there. He did that time. They've used that well, Leeds.
Ball in towards the near post, and Areola's got to come and try and take that in front of Harrison, and he does. He stoops and gobbles it up, and will manage to get it clear. TalkSport on a wet Friday night. Whatever you're doing, thank you very much for your company this evening. We'll bring you Brentford, Liverpool tomorrow night, and then Sunday we're around the grounds from 1:30. And we've got lots of cup football for you next Tuesday and Wednesday on the TalkSport network. Carabao Cup is coming back, isn't it? We've got that huge game between Liverpool and Crystal Palace on Wednesday night, and on Tuesday night Grimsby against Brentford and Wycombe against Fulham, live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Cardiff Wrexham's on Tuesday night as well, isn't it? At the racecourse ground. Oosh.
It'll definitely be tasty. And just sense the Leeds supporters they're not wanting this game to drift the way it is, to allow West Ham anything at all. And a bit more from their side. West Ham have just been too sloppy at the start of the second half.
Irvin, Diouf into Irvin again, stopped by Ampadu. Irvin pokes it back, 53 on the clock. It's the second time I've said that today. Paquetá clipping it out towards the left-hand side. Diouf forces it into Somerville. They're midway inside the Leeds United half here. Somerville's tracked backwards rather than forwards, though, wearing gloves today. And Leeds just sitting off West Ham and allowing them to come onto them. Diouf is eventually engaged by Bogle. The ball's going to run out of play by the corner flag. No, it's not, and Longstaff has allowed Somerville to pick it up and travel into the box, and then Diouf forces the ball into the near post. Perry makes an uncomfortable save as he dives out into the 6-yard box. It's cleared away by Rodon and then picked up over on the far side by Paquetá, and Calvert-Lewin did really well to put him under enough pressure that he gave away a throw-in, and the West Ham attack comes to nothing. But again, it was a little bit scruffy that by the Leeds United defence. Paquetá, by the way, I think has got a yellow card here for arguing with the referee.
I know he's frustrated, but what is the point? Channel that frustration into your performance.
Well, it's the second yellow card of the day. Somerville got the other one. And he's still barking at the referee, Paquetá, and Atwell has visibly told him to stop, and he's still going. He's got to be a little bit careful, Lucas Paquetá. Here is Bio, edge of his own penalty area, across to Rodon. Scored the second of Leeds United's goals. He gets it back again, loops it up into the air. Calvert-Lewin tries to get in front of Kilman. The second ball is won by Bowen under pressure from Ampadu. Loads of white shirts converge on Bowen, though, and although he gets the free kick, you could see the tenacity amongst that Leeds United outfit to get around Jarrod Bowen and cause some problems and try and ensure that it's not easy for West Ham to build an attack.
Well, it's a big reason why Leeds actually got into. That's a good ball from Todibo.
Down the right for Callum Wilson to chase, but Bijol has come across and put pressure on him. It's gone out of play and away for a throw, which Wan-Bissaka will take. Go on.
It's a big reason why Leeds got to the Premier League, is actually defensively they improved so much under Daniel Farke, with Ampadu sat in front of that back four, and it could be a big part in why they stay up this season if they can continue that.
Oh, it's poor from Kilman. He's given the ball straight to Aronson, and now they're on the gallop, and Aronson is leading the charge. He's sent it down the side of the box towards Calvert-Lewin. He's done well to get there ahead of Todibo. Wasn't the greatest ball from Aronson, but then couldn't hold on to it. They've won it back again through Bogle. Aronson's got it again right side. Calvert-Lewin goes towards the near post. It's across towards Calvert-Lewin, who tries a scorpion kick with his back heel, but he couldn't get the proper power on it or the direction, and it ended up just ballooning into the John Ruby stand behind the goal away to our left.
Yeah, it'd probably be better actually leaving this with Harrison and Tanaka coming in behind him there. Instead he went for the flying scorpion kick that didn't come off. He's annoyed though because Aronson's ball down towards him when they broke away was poor, didn't really give him much of a chance.
They lead 2-0. You're listening to Talk Sport. And we're just seeing the episode that led to the Lucas Paquetá yellow card. You're listening to Leeds 2, West Ham 0. Talk Sport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Leeds versus West Ham, live right now. Search Now Sports. And the Leeds United fans twirling their scarves above their heads and getting behind the team here. And the next goal could really make things interesting. Here is Diouf down the left-hand side, away by Ampadu. Steers it only as far as Irvin, who recycles the ball and chips it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Parry comes and claims, and Leeds United bring it away once again. It's Leeds 2, West Ham 0.
Lacking quality though, West Ham, even when they get into those decent areas. Lacking the quality that's needed at this level to give your centre forwards and your forward players the opportunities that they need.
Somerville being roundly booed every time he touches the ball by the Leeds United supporters. Paquetá into centre field, swipes his foot at the ball and sends it into Debo, who's wearing gloves again. Up it goes to Bowen. Not surprised he's wearing gloves actually. Got my fingerless ones on tonight because it's a little bit chilly. Souček tries to reverse the ball.
You're not a big centre back though.
That's true, and I'm not running around either. And here is Aronson running around the West Ham midfield, outpacing two of them and moving towards the midpoint of the West Ham half. Right for his shot, takes a deflection, hits the top of the crossbar and goes behind and out for a corner. It was a brilliant run from Aronson. He went dazzling through the middle of the park. He outpaced the West Ham midfield that looked leaden-footed as he skipped away from Souček, took on Paquetá, ran past Irvin and burst towards the edge of the box. His right-footed shot took a little deflection off Kilman and that steered it on top of the crossbar and out for a corner kick over on the far side.
Oh, that's what he can give you at his best, Aronson. That ability just to burst away from players, no pace in the West Ham midfield, and he was away. And when he did the right thing, he just held the ball enough to open up the space to shoot. Kilman coming across. You could say he was lucky or unlucky with that effort with the deflection. It could have gone anywhere.
Here's the corner from the far side, aimed in towards the central area, away by Todibo, comes back to Harrison, whose right-footed shot takes another deflection off of Paquetá. It goes out towards the corner flag. He's going to stop it from going for a corner. He's under pressure from Bijol. Don't commit a foul there will be the cry from the Leeds fans. It's nudged out by Paquetá. It's definitely a Leeds United throw. They've given it the other way. They didn't see it.
No, they didn't. I don't think many people did. I think the West Ham subs maybe had their hands up to say it was that way, but
well, the throw-in's gone straight to Leeds anyway, and they're back on the front foot in the final third. Poor from Harrison though, and then Somerville, before he can escape, has Bogle wrapping at his ankles, and the ball is forced back to the goalkeeper by Bijol. It's 2-0 to Leeds United. We hit the hour on Talk Sport, and West Ham, who have already faced their worst start to a league season since 1988-89 when they were relegated under John Lyle, are on the verge of yet another defeat. Still winless under Nuno Espirito Santo, who gambled with his team selection, picked fullbacks on the wrong side, had to make early changes in the game after two early goals for Leeds United, and they haven't really recovered.
Well, it's these sort of games that are so important when you're looking at the mini leagues within the Premier League.
Leeds growing in confidence, and Todibo has to try and marshal Calvert-Lewin, who's gone down the right side of the box, fed by Ayo Tanaka. Back to Bogle, into Tanaka once again. He looks up, there's no option in the box, so he goes square. Ampadu encouraged to shoot. He plays it left to Harrison. He does shoot, straight at the goalkeeper Areola, who makes a smart save.
Yeah, lovely play again from Leeds. That extra player in midfield, making it count. Moving the ball quickly to the spare player, which is Harrison this time. Gets his foot behind it, but again, another player that isn't exactly goal confident over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Looks like a couple of changes about to take place. Nachos Fernandez coming back from warming up away to our left-hand side. It's Dan Potts as well, isn't it? Freddie Potts, sorry. Dan Potts is his brother. who's getting ready down in front of us. Here is Todibo trying to steer the ball forward, was caught by Calvert-Lewin. Going to be a free kick to West Ham United. And the West Ham supporters have been desperate for Freddie Potts to get into this team. I mean, the midfield has not functioned in the manner that would justify keeping it the same, so there's going to be 2 changes in that engine room to try and turn the tide of this fixture, which at the moment Leeds have started to boss again.
They have. I mean, when you think of the Premier League now and the Premier League midfields that you come up against, they're so athletic, they've got pace, they've got power. West Ham have really lacked that. I think they need a bit more in there if they're to really get back into this game, hence Fernandes and Potts.
Back underway. Fernandes has gone out towards the touchline, trying to eagerly get on the pitch. Potts is doing the same now. Ball is with Kilman, and then Irvin in the centre circle. On to Paquetá. Back to former Kaiserslautern midfielder Andy Irvin. Back to Wilson. Wilson with his back to goal just drops deep into a 10 position, lays it off to Paquetá. He goes wide to Diouf. Diouf over on the far touchline. Back to Paquetá, who's looping cross into the box. Is caught by Luca Perry under no real pressure really, and it's gobbled up by the Brazilian goalkeeper and will be cleared away.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, was it, from Paquetá? He's much better than that technically. Ball came back to him and he just looped it up for the goalkeeper to come and claim again. And you get in that position as a centre forward, you're at the mercy of the delivery in. Nothing yet for Wilson to go and attack.
Irvin and Souček are the 2 players that are about to come off for West Ham United. The 2 players that I think, Souček you can understand being in the team because he's so robust and he's a warrior and he helps out at set pieces, but it's not quick and athletic enough in that middle of the park, and that's why eyebrows were raised before the game. Interestingly though, they're still not bringing on Magassa, who was a big money signing in the summer. He's sitting on the bench, and it's a youngster and Fernandes who comes on.
Again, that's Nuno's decision. Of course, it's for us to analyse. I'm surprised. I thought he showed good signs against Arsenal at the Emirates. Magassa. But as always, when a young homegrown player like Freddie Potts gets an opportunity, the supporters will certainly appreciate that. Now he's just got to go and put in a performance.
Magassa cost £17.3 million when they bought him in the summer. Here is Bowen trying to get to the edge of the area. Paquetá arrives. It's blocked by Rodon, who celebrates that challenge as if he scored a goal because he was delighted that he managed to block the effort on target right on the edge of the box. Matheus Fernandes plays it out towards the right. Bowen takes over. Fernandes goes down the outside. Paquetá then scoops it centrally. Picked up by Bowen, who's trying to juggle with it. Longstaff gets across him. Given away by Leeds. A little bit untidily there. Potts moves it in towards Fernandes. On the outside towards Wilson. And before he can pull the trigger, across comes the defender, Bijol, and pokes it out for a corner. But even that was better from West Ham.
Yeah, the 2 substitutes combining. Potts into Fernandes, looking to flick that around the corner for Callum Wilson, who just got himself back on side. But Bijol just about read it.
Well, West Ham have been terrible at defending corners. Let's see what they're like at attacking them. Ball in towards the near post. Certainly something that the manager mentioned in the press conference yesterday. They had to get better at attacking them, and that one hits the first man and it's cleared away by Leeds.
I mean, they're on top. Leeds are allowing it. They're comfortable, Leeds. They've not really allowed West Ham to create anything of note for their goalkeeper to worry about. It's down to West Ham to get better quality in their play.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to do that so far in the game, and it remains 2-0 to the home team, and it'll be a precious home victory for Leeds United should it stay as it is right now. Here is Jared Bowen taking the ball ahead to Jack Harrison, then forcing it into Paquetá. He's engaged by Ampadu. Ampadu was holding him, and then a bit of pressure from Calvert-Lewin sees a turnover of possession, but the referee blows the whistle because he was always ready to penalise Ampadu, being a little bit too handsy. Wan-Bissaka lays it off to Potts. Freddie Potts centrally looking for Fernandes, but finds Kilman instead. Leeds have managed to score 9 goals in the opening 9 games of the Premier League season. It's not a great total, but it might be enough to get them over the line here for a second home victory of the campaign. Here is Bowen looking for Wan-Bissaka, cut out by Justin. He just almost twirled into problems. Harrison will get it clear, and Calvert-Lewin's got to put pressure on to Todibo, and Todibo, well, he didn't get that right at all. It went straight out of play. I think they're going to make a change here, Leeds United, because Calvert-Lewin looks as if his race is run. Slight bit of fatigue just creeping in to the former Everton man, I think.
Well, effort is something you can never question with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Puts in an incredible amount, does that work physically as well. The headers and the bullying and all of that.
Crescencio Somerville has gone running in behind. Lucas Perry has watched that all the way and come out and engaged after a misplaced pass from James Justin. Saw a quick release for Somerville, and it was tidied up by the Brazilian goalkeeper before it became a problem. Ilya Gruev is about to come on. He hasn't featured much recently. I think he might come in to midfield, maybe for Tanaka actually. Let's see what happens next. Paquetá for West Ham, trying to get back into the game, tries to bend it into the path of Bowen, well dealt with by James Justin. This is a little bit more like what Leeds are like at the moment. They haven't killed off a lot of games actually. They've got in front maybe against Everton and just sort of held on to that match. It took a long time for them to find the goal. Mecha getting the penalty late on in that match, and then they just sort of saw it over the line really, and Everton were terrible that night, the opening night of the season. Tonight West Ham haven't really done enough to get back into the game after conceding those 2 early goals in quite calamitous circumstances, and Leeds United are heading for 3 points, but there is 21 minutes to go, and a goal now for West Ham would certainly just turn the tide of momentum in their favour.
Oh, it would, but this is a different Leeds. It's a different manager mindset in Daniel Farke in the Premier League, wanting to protect what he's got, defensive structure. They can do it, they've got the players to. They're so deep, even though they're at home, they want to protect this.
Here is Diouf with a cross into the box, headed away by Bijol, further away by Ampadu. It's going to come back from Potts into Somerville, then Potts again, edge of the area. Now Paquetá, inviting a little bit of pressure here, Leeds. It's gone through to Fernandes. Fernandes trying to turn. Crowd getting a little bit restless. Fernandes moves up towards the right-hand side. Forces it into Wan-Bissaka. Potts again, just good at keeping things ticking over, and that's not great from Paquetá, who's gone down rather cheaply. Referee initially again said play on, and then he's given the free kick in favour of the Brazilian, and West Ham have the ball. Calvert-Lewin was on the escape, he was off.
Yeah, he does that a few times, Stuart Howell. He really does allow the play to continue for a while before making that decision. It was a bit of a stab towards Paquetá.
I think it was a bit of a shove in the back from Longstaff which did the damage, but it wasn't much of one. They have got a free kick here, and this is about, what, 12 or 13 yards back from the edge of the area. It's right-sided, and there's a 2-man wall. 20 minutes to go. Gruev still on the touchline waiting to come on. They decided not to make the change at this set piece. Paquetá is standing over it. It would be timely now if they could get a goal here, West Ham. It's Fernandes though who bends it into the box, and it is so bad that Luca Perry runs to the edge of his 6-yard box, his eyes rolling up into his skull, watching the ball sail over his head and into the Norman Hunter stand, having inflicted absolutely zero damage on the Leeds backline. Here's the change. Tanaka off, Gruev on.
Yeah, Gruev, who, brilliant technical player, get hold of the ball, try and keep a bit of possession for Leeds, stop West Ham just having that constant stream of possession. We're just going back. Fernandes has come on, he's had 2 set plays, the corner into the first man, and there the free kick just aimlessly over. They're just not helping themselves, West Ham. They've got plenty of the ball, but the quality has been very, very poor.
Look, the manager spotlight swings around so violently in the Premier League, almost as fast as the managerial merry-go-round swings around so violently. Well, you think that just at the beginning of the season the Sweden manager was in charge of West Ham and the West Ham manager was in charge of Nottingham Forest. It shows you how quickly things move now in football. But Daniel Farke at the end of last season, despite getting promotion, was under a little bit of pressure because of his top flight record. He's won only 14% of the games that he's taken charge of in this division. That is a bad record. He's won 8 of 57, but he's 18 minutes away from winning one here, and should they win here, he is going to alleviate a lot of pressure not only on his shoulders but on Leeds United's shoulders going into what is a crucial period of the season. Ball sent long up towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Todibo goes across. Areola tidies up, and West Ham have possession once again.
Also, what it does is it just relieves the pressure enough so that your players can maybe play with a bit more freedom without the restraints of the worries of the relegation zone.
Changes the mindset of everyone around the club as well. There's a little
day to day even
less sort of angst and more sort of freedom.
Yeah, walking into training, it's totally different if you're away from that relegation zone. So important.
Leeds 2, West Ham 0. This is Talk Sport. Friday night football. Tomorrow night we've got Liverpool against Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium for you. Only here on Talk Sport. Loads of championship action as well throughout the day, including commentary given away by Todibo. Poor from him. Picked up by Gruev. Kept hold of by the Bulgarian. And Leeds United have possession inside their own 18-yard box. Lucas Perry will clear it high up into the night sky. Calvert-Lewin will go up with a header with Kilman. Kilman wins that. It's then won by Somerville, puts it through the legs of Bogle and runs around the other side and then gallops towards the edge of the penalty area. Acceleration of pace, but stopped by Longstaff, who nabs the ball and did enough to force him to the ground. And Leeds have possession once again. Aronson and then on to Ampadu. Swept out by Bijol. Oh, and that's a little bit short. And Wan-Bissaka has nabbed it ahead of Justin and now found Bowen. Back to Wan-Bissaka down the side of the penalty area. In towards Wilson, who tries to flick it towards the far corner. And he managed to do that, but there wasn't enough power on it. And Perry picked it up very quickly.
Yeah, flashed across, wasn't it? Wan-Bissaka tried the Voltamada flick, didn't he, Callum Wilson? But it was too far behind him, stretched too much and took the pace off it.
Leeds come forward again. Aronson has it 20 yards from the edge of the penalty area. He drives up to the box, produces a cross. Calvert-Lewin falls over, and then sort of whilst falling over, the ball almost hits him and goes towards Areola, and he picks it up. It's currently Leeds 2, West Ham 0. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes, by the way, where right now you can get Leeds to win at 150 to 1 on. The draw is 22 to 1, West Ham 70 to 1, to come back and win the game. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+, gambleaware.org. And that just shows you those odds with 15 minutes to go. And there's absolutely no confidence at all that West Ham are going to turn this around from anyone.
No, and they're not creating the chances. It's not as if they are creating chances in this game and you're thinking, well, it's a matter of time. They don't even look like it. The amount of times they're giving it away.
They're giving it away again. And Calvert-Lewin is speeding into the left wing position now. He's gone beyond Todibo. He turns the ball back. He looks up. He looks who's arriving on the edge of the box. Harrison is to the left side of it. He's got Longstaff in the centre. They slow it up. Don't take a gamble. They keep possession because they're not about forcing it anymore, Leeds United. They're about managing this game out. And the Leeds crowd can rumble all they like. If they get all 3 points here, no one will be complaining. Here's Justin down this left-hand side. Cross into the box. It's a fight ball, but it's going to be won by Diouf. And then Gruev tugs back Paquetá. That's going to be a yellow card because he was threatening to escape. Can you understand why they're doing the less risky things? They're not taking as many gambles. They're trying to keep hold of the ball rather than forcing it and maybe then losing it when they go on the attack.
Yeah, I think it's just a protection measure. That's what it is from Leeds, but that comes from the manager. I think he has changed his mind set a lot since becoming Leeds manager, and he will have thought about it a lot over the summer, Daniel Farke, about what he could do differently from his time before, and you can sense it. Must be talking to the players about when you get in these positions, can we then make it really difficult and just counter-attack, even if we're at home in front of our supporters.
And we all make mistakes and we all mess up at times, and I think Nuno Espirito Santo would probably look back at this lineup that he sent out today and think that was probably not the right recipe for success here at Ellen Road. Here's Bowen down the right-hand side. Across goes Justin, puts it out of play and it's out for a corner. But are we less forgiving of Nuno Espirito Santo having done it on Monday and then repeated the same mistake again tonight?
Yes, but he will have known that. He's not silly. He will have known that team selection will have put a huge amount of pressure on him and the players, but surely he will have done it with the mindset of getting a result. Otherwise that just feels like absolute neglect.
Here is the corner from Matias Fernandez, a deep one headed away by Rodon, comes out to Diouf, edge of the area, who cracks a volley over the bar. In fact, it's not just over the bar, it's about 17 yards wide of goal as well. Paquetá is coming off, Magassa coming on, and Carl Walker-Peters is coming on as well here. Another change in the full-back areas. It's like full-back roulette, isn't it, with West Ham? The first one that comes off is Somerville. Somerville's coming off. Walker-Peters on, Magassa on for Paquetá. They're the two changes. And the Leeds fans absolutely delighted that Crescencio Somerville is coming off. A ripple of applause from the West Ham United supporters. And there is a sort of a little bit of now respect from the Leeds United supporters. A few of them just giving him a begrudging clap as he comes over towards this near side. It's Wan-Bissaka actually, not Paquetá, who comes off, despite what we were being advised. So it's Magassa on for Somerville and Carl Walker-Peters on for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, I can't see why you would take off Paquetá. He's one of those players that can create and has been getting on the ball and isn't afraid, even though the pressure's on, to try and get on that and make things happen. He's gone over to the right hand side. Fernandez now in behind Callum Wilson.
It's gone out for a Leeds United throw because the ball was sent long and it was misjudged by Todibo. It glanced off the back of his head and goes out for a throw in deep inside West Ham territory. On this left side as we look at it, Leeds United 2, West Ham 0. TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. 11 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. There'll be less stoppage time in this second half than there was in the first, but then we did have another hour added on at the end of the first half. Here is Aronson nudging it through to Calvert-Lewin. Goes up towards the midpoint of the West Ham attack. Paquetá, who seems to have gone out towards the left now to replace Somerville. It's a miscontrol by Justin that's going to end up out of play and away for a throw midway inside his own half.
I could imagine that the Leeds United players and supporters can't believe how easy it's been. Actually, there is no panic at the moment. Yes, West Ham have got possession, but there's no panic as if their goal is being peppered. It looks pretty comfortable in what they're doing, Leeds. It's not great to watch, of course, but it's working.
Yep. Leeds are boring their way to 3 points. They're quite happy to do that, and I don't think any of the Leeds United supporters will be too upset about it. They have given away a free kick here in the midpoint of their own half, right in the dead centre of that half, between edge of centre circle and edge of D, and maybe West Ham have got the chance to create something. There's 10 minutes to go. Can they create a nervous finish inside Ellen Road, which started with a raucous atmosphere? It hasn't had much to shout about over the last hour or so, Dean.
No, I think they'll understand, though, the supporters, that it is just vital that they win these games.
Paquetá's free kick is delivered into the box, headed away by Calvert-Lewin, picked off by Freddie Potts over on the far side. He's being chased by Gruev. No foul given, and Diouf then takes the ball out of play, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side to Leeds United, who lead by 2-0 but can see themselves going up the table here, and that will be a welcome result for Leeds United. If it continues like this, they'll go above Brentford ahead of tomorrow night's live game that they have against Liverpool live on TalkSport, above Newcastle, above Fulham and Burnley, and just out of harm's way really. There'll be 6 points from the relegation zone. The 18th place team, Nottingham Forest, have 5 points. This will be 11 for Leeds United. A much safer area of the table in which to operate for Daniel Farke and his team. For West Ham, 9 games in, 4 points. That's brutal.
I have lost count of the amount of times West Ham have either put the ball out of play or just passed it to a Leeds player. The confidence is so low in this West Ham team at the moment. They're better than this, that's for sure, but they're not showing it.
Wolves play Burnley this weekend. There is every chance that by the time we get to Monday morning, West Ham can be bottom of the Premier League. Here is Diouf, left side, trying to get up towards the edge of the box. Across goes Longstaff, brilliantly athletic, gets in front of that shot, diverts it behind and away for a corner. 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, they've worked hard as a unit, Leeds, to defend. When one player has been beaten, there's been another one there.
The corner to be taken left side. Stuart Atwell is going to make sure that it's in the quadrant. Actually, the rule is it has to be overhanging the quadrant, which I think it must have been, because Stuart Atwell has run 20 yards to go and check on it, and Matthias Fernandes has then gone over to take over duties from Diouf, and he's moved the ball again, and Stuart Atwell is going to have a look at it once more. Oh, waste of time. Let's take the corner. West Ham are wasting their own time here. He's moved it again. I don't know what on earth's going on. Fernandes in towards the near post, headed away by Bijol from the corner. It was a waste anyway, because Bijol dominated the air and rose up beautifully and headed the ball long towards the halfway line. Carl Walker-Peters has it back for West Ham, who trail here by 2-0. It's bent round the corner looking for Bowen. Across comes Ampadu. In the left full-back position, he manages to clear. Up high over the halfway line. Calvert-Lewin puts pressure on Potts, who wins it. The ball's on halfway. Leeds fans trying to get behind their team as we go into the final 6.5 minutes of the game on TalkSport, with Leeds on the verge of 3 points. It looks like Daniel James and Lucas Metcher are about to come on. Here's Fernandes with a strike from the edge of the area, which takes a deflection, and Lucas Perry tries to stop for going for a corner. He couldn't do so, and it goes out and away for the corner on the far side. Now Perry then tried to tidy up and just nudge the ball away, and that's delaying the restart, so he's getting a yellow card off Stuart Atwell. He's obviously got nowhere to be, Stuart Atwell. He wants to try and prolong the game as much as possible. Is he not doing anything else this weekend? No other like VAR or fourth official assignments? No? Here's the corner. Got to be a better delivery, surely, from Fernandes this time. Nope. Headed away at the near post by Justin. Comes back out to Carl Walker-Peters. He sends it back to Fernandes, who chests it down, puts him on the front foot, plays a nice reverse ball into Paquetá. Not going to get hold of that in the area that he wanted. Calvert-Lewin's going to come and shut him down in the left full-back position. Then Harrison nabs it, clears it away, but only as far as Potts. They're a little bit deep here. It's in towards the far post, and Wilson headed away. Comes out to Aronson, but he can't get hold of it. West Ham putting a bit of pressure on with 5 minutes to go. It's 2-0 to go. The score to Leeds United here, as James and Metcher prepare to come on and add a bit of spice to the attack. Ball into the box, away by Rodon, up towards Calvert-Lewin. He tries to affect the ball but doesn't get hold of it, and then it breaks down for West Ham over on the far side, and Calvert-Lewin and Bogle do really well. Calvert-Lewin trying to go down the touchline. Wants a foul he's not going to get. Picked off by Diouf and then sent infield.
They need to commit more bodies forward, West Ham. It's no good having 4 or 5 back there. Midfield players need to start gambling into the penalty area when it's wide.
Yeah, Magassa now sweeps the ball to the far post. It's too high for Paquetá. It runs through to Bogle and cleared away. Potts and Magassa just a little bit too deep, I think, in that midfield area, and not prepared to get up with the attack, and that means that there's not enough numbers back there when Leeds are dropping so deep and flooding the edge of their penalty area. They're going to make 2 changes. Aronson coming off, James coming on. A bit more speed and a real outball for Leeds now, because he is so rapid, Daniel James, that they can toss that ball over the top and test the pace of the West Ham back line. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin is going off to a standing ovation because of his work rate and his industry at the top of the pitch, to be replaced by Lucas Metcher.
He's shown again a prime example of why he's starting Premier League games, Calvert-Lewin, because of the way he leads the line, the effort he gives, the headers he wins, the way he chases down, lost causes. Not been a goal threat at all again, but if that's what you want from your centre forward, he's given everything.
Well, Daniel Farker has just embraced him. All the coaching staff are doing the same as well, because they know that the effort that he's put in has helped them into this position where they're about to go up to 13th in the table. They lead by 2-0. Time ticking away. Only 3 minutes remain at Ellen Road, and it looks like another home victory and another defeat for West Ham United, who are ailing. They are struggling, and even after the changes, they have found themselves just a little bit too weak, a little bit too timid in attack, a little bit too ponderous with their build-up play, and finding it very difficult to get their rhythm in the Premier League. Ampadu has just gone over and he's absolutely rollocked Bijol, who's fallen into the crowd behind the goal, and he said, get up, get back on with it, we've got a game to win here. Remember, after this, Leeds are away to Brighton, Forest also away before they welcome Villa here, and they better pick up points in the next few weeks, because they have Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool after that. For West Ham, don't get any easier. They've got Newcastle at home, then a massive game against Burnley before they go to Bournemouth, and then welcome Liverpool. Good luck.
It's tough. It gets even tougher when you're down there and the pressure's on. It's not going to get any easier. The questions are going to be fired at Nuno after the game for that team selection for sure.
Well, Leeds about to finally break the hoodoo at home against West Ham United. It'll be a first win against them here in 22 years. The Ellen Road crowd, I'm sure, will erupt when that full-time whistle eventually goes, but there's a few minutes still to play, 2 plus added here in Yorkshire tonight. Wilson trying to hold off Bijol. The ball breaks for Mathias Fernandes. He travels down the right. Gruev being held, pushed to the floor, free kick for Leeds United. And these supporters will know that this is a major step forward in their road to safety. That's their aim this season. There's no designs on finishing in the top half of the table, or no designs in trying to do something special. Just staying in the league is so vital to this football club. Football club that's changed owners. Football club that has got itself back into the Premier League after so many years in the wilderness, only to see that status frittered away. But they are back here now, and they want to be back here to stay. Preston North End have beaten Sheffield United by 3 goals to 2 after being 2-0 down in that game. They came back just before half-time and then managed to score another one in the second half to get them over the line. It's going to be all 3 points. We're going to have 4 added minutes at the end of the 90 here at Ellen Road. In the rain, Bowen picks it up, dripping wet, sends it in towards Fernandes, and there's a flick off the back of his head and into the far corner, and Luca Perry dives but can't keep it out, and West Ham are back in the game in the final minute.
Well, what about the ball from Jared Bowen? Really did fizz that in from a central area towards that far post. Fernandes, all he had to do was just get the tiniest of touches, just let it graze the top of his head. It was the delivery from Bowen that was so vicious. Great little glance from Fernandes. It's the first good bit of quality he's shown, and he's found the back of the net.
Well, it's a lovely glancing header beyond the despairing dive of Luca Perry. And as we go into 4 added minutes, all of a sudden there is now a little bit of nervousness that West Ham might steal a point here. Potts out to Diouf. Remember, Bournemouth stole a point here in injury time. They thought they'd won that game, Leeds United, and then they didn't. They don't want to be in the same situation again. 3.5 have added to play. Diouf up on the left-hand side. West Ham committing bodies forward now. Paquetá towards the edge of the box. Bogle gets it away. It's sent long by Longstaff into the left corner of the field, but there's no one up to chase it. It was just about getting it as far away as possible and into the most remote area of the pitch for Leeds United. West Ham come forward once more. Now it's Bowen. They haven't done enough in this game to deserve a point after surrendering those 2 goals early on. They haven't attacked with enough craft or guile, but maybe there's a chance for them to steal something here. It's floated in by Todibo. That's far too close to the goalkeeper at a ridiculous height. It was a terrible ball by Todibo and easily caught by Luca Perry, who will waste as many precious seconds as he can at holding the ball.
Make it make sense. I don't know how he has made that decision just to loft that into the goalkeeper's hands. He's been very poor actually, Todibo.
I mean, that was stupid as well, because he was wrestling with Mecha, and in my head as I was watching it, he's just kicked the ball away as well. and now he's going to get a yellow card. It was wrestling with the Metro as the ball came over, and I was thinking to myself, if you're a West Ham player now, you're saying to him, don't foul him, whatever you do, don't foul him, because you're wasting precious seconds, you're giving them a chance to hold the ball in the corner of the field. And he grabbed him round the waist, he got hold of him and then pulled him back, and Metro couldn't get away from him, so it was obvious he was going to give a foul there, Stuart.
Yeah, it's just 2 minutes of play, isn't it, that'll have cost his team at least 2 minutes of the added 4 that they could have had trying to get the equaliser.
So naive from Jean-Claire Todibo. Clipped forward into Metcha. Looked like Carl Walker-Peters used his arm to nudge that forward. Challenged by Longstaff, who's been full of industry. That was a late challenge by James Justin, and that's going to be a yellow card for him.
Absolutely wired into Walker-Peters there, James Justin. And this is going to be launched.
So, maybe there is one last chance for West Ham United. Maybe there is an opportunity to steal a point away at Ellen Road. Matheus Fernandes stands on the ball. He is 12 yards inside his own territory, but it is the creative midfielder Fernandes who's going to take this. Lucas Paquetá actually just turned around to him and said, why don't you get Alphonse Areola to take it and get up here? But no, he wants to take it. He's in conversation with Nuno Espirito Santo. Alphonse Areola is to his left. He's given it to Alphonse Areola and then got it back again, then slipped over, clipped it up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed away, comes back to Bowen, sends it out wide towards the left. Paquetá with a chance to cross. Across to him goes Bogle, back in by Diouf, away by Ampadu into the sky, but it skewed off his boot and into the air. There was a push by Paquetá, was there? Free kick in the right full-back position, and Leeds edge closer and closer to victory. They inch closer and closer to 3 points. Are they going to get over the line? Are they going to be able to celebrate? Is Nuno Espirito Santo still waiting for his first 3 points in charge of West Ham United? The only point he's picked up so far away from home against Everton on a Monday night. We've played all 4 of the added minutes here. Leeds United, who lost their last home game but hadn't lost in a league match for a year prior to that, are about to get all 3 points at home again and go up into 13th position in the table. The ball hit long by Lucas Perry, the goalkeeper. Kilman heads it forward. Bogle into the air. The ball drops out of play over on the far side. West Ham trying to encourage everyone to go forward. The ball is out of play and away for a throw in the left full-back position. The Leeds fans want the whistle. He looks at his watch, Stuart Atwell. He blows that whistle, and Leeds United's home record, that is stellar, was stellar and remains stellar. Before the defeat to Tottenham ahead of the last international break, they hadn't lost a game for a year. They were never going to lose 2 in a row. First half goals from Aronson and Rodon have done the trick. It gives them something to shout about and makes them put a bit of distance, for now anyway, between them and the relegation zone. A relegation zone that West Ham are starting to feel trapped in. A baffling, bewildering team selection, and at times West Ham have looked broken tonight, bereft of ideas and well beaten in the end. There was a late flurry, but it was nothing more than that. It's going to be a long old season for Nuno Espirito Santo unless games and results turn soon. 4 matches in, 2 goals, 0 wins. There are no happy hammers right now. Leeds United 2, West Ham 1.